Welcome to thestockminer.com here in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stockminer, Brian Johnson. We had another close up for the week. Well, on a couple of the indices anyway. You can see that it's just the same story, guys. This is why I can't get overly bearish yet on the markets. Have I tried some speculative shorts? You betcha. I sure have. I certainly won't deny that. Have they worked out? No, they haven't. But I've kept them small, kept my position sizes small, kept them well protected, and I'm not holding on to anything. Had a really good talk with a couple of people that I think are going to take the mentoring course just yesterday, and they told me they appreciated the fact that while everybody else seemed to be the contrarian, at least I was, trying to keep my bias out of it and just playing what the charts were giving me. And that's precisely how I approach the markets here, guys. It just, whatever the charts are, they are. As much as I want to be, oh, we're up too far, we got to go down. I can't make that, assertion yet. The charts aren't telling me to think that way. So here we are. Once again, markets are up. Bulls took over after a little consolidation. It's up, back up, sideways, basically, up again. So what are we looking at? I don't know, up, back, up, back, up, back. Yeah, why not? It's all we've seen so far. Why would there be any reason to think that any of that's going to change? So we'll keep that bias going into next week. As for the week itself, things turned out very good for the bulls. If you were buying puts on the indices for the end of this week, you did not fare very well as the markets slowly bled you dry once again. Not a lot of volatility. I really thought there would be a little bit more volatility within the markets this week, and there wasn't. Maybe one day. We got one day maybe of some volatility, but otherwise it was really pretty much just the same story on a different verse. So we'll take a look at the daily here, and you can see the Dow pushed up and over this 12.3 area, right into that 12.4 area. Kind of what we've been talking about here now for a little while. I kind of, on the Dow, I'm really looking at basically about every 100 points, really. So breaks above this 12.3 gave you opportunities into the 12.4. Today played out a little bit marginal. Things look very good right now, but they didn't look that way earlier in the day. We can see here, if I just back up to the 60-minute here, we did see this little dip down. So we had that run up in the Dow, the dip down, and then the run back up again. But it really didn't start to gain acceleration until the very end of the day. We put in a lot of good movement there at the very end. Is it setting us up? Makes me wonder, actually, whether or not this isn't just a big fake out here. But you know what? Up is up right now, so we will continue to play it that way. NASDAQ 60-minute was not quite as good. It did not fare near as well as what the rest of the markets did. So the NASDAQ did not quite as well as the rest of the market today. The overall NDX 100, anyway, I should say. The NASDAQ still finished up, so the NASDAQ composite, once again, showing strength. It still managed to finish up for the day, but the NASDAQ 100 didn't do well for 2 days in a row now. So we're starting to see weakness within the stronger NASDAQ stocks, at least in the shorter term. I'm going to tell you this, though, right now. All we're seeing right here is a bull flag. It's just the same type of moves we've seen all the way up here. So yes, even though the NDX 100 has been weak the last couple days, I'm not going to put a lot of emphasis on it for the time being. I'm just not seeing anything that's scaring me right now. When we get back below these levels, as I've been talking about forever, then yeah, maybe. But for right now, not really. NDX daily, same type of thing. Look at what we're seeing here. What is that, guys? If you can't identify that by now and you've been following me for any length of time, shame on you. Should be embarrassed. That is yet the beginnings of another high base formation. So if you said pullback or high base, I'd give either one of those to you. And it's the same thing. Move up, high base. Move up, high base, pullback-ish. Move up, kind of a pullback here, move up. It's just slowly but surely grinding its way to the upside. However, this right here, even though it is down for the day, not really much to talk about here. Still looking pretty good overall, bigger picture. Weekly as well. Now we can talk about these candles. So let's talk about them. It was small. We didn't go anywhere. We didn't move a whole lot, but the point is the bull still won. We've seen this over and over and over again. These little tiny candles that are put in by the bulls. Look at this right here. Man, I heard a lot about how this is some big candle reversal pattern up here, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, no one sold on it. We just didn't give me any confirmation. So these small candles that we get, they don't mean much to me right now. Got to have more confirmation than that before I get sold on it. SPX as well, moving itself up and above. We saw a good pullback yet again in the middle of the day, but guess what? Another buy the dip opportunity. So allow me to plug this again. This is what I sent out to my subscribers middle of the day. The market is dropping for the time being. Could this be the pullback? Yes. Is it another buy the dip opportunity? Yes. So what I'm saying here is that it still isn't anything. There's still nothing really broken as of yet. Now, I love what the NAS is doing from a bear side, where it was a lot weaker than the other markets, but not everything's following quite yet. So I told them below that 1335 area on the SPX is my first shorting opportunity, but even that's a little speculative. If you want to be a little bit more patient, I'd suggest waiting for 1330 or waiting until next week if you're not already short. The market internals are just kind of neutral. So I'm not really sold on this move down quite yet. This is what I sent out when the market was really starting to accelerate to the downside earlier today. And I know that there are a lot of traders out there that start to get worried. Hey, is this it? Are we finally in for it? I've been told these upper levels to watch and blah, blah, blah. And I just wanted to send them a quick note saying, listen, guys, don't panic. We're not quite there yet. So once again, if this will help you in your trading, if it's of any value to you whatsoever, please check out the subscribers newsletter. Click on the icon there to the right, or the picture of it to the right there on any one of my pages actually has a little ad there to your right, and click on it and sign up and give it a whirl and see what you think. So I don't send out intraday emails every day, but when I do see these type of moves, I do my best to try to get some communication out to my subscribers so that they have a better feel for maybe what they should or should not do with their positions. If you're long, do you get out? If you're short, do you stay in? Sometimes that kind of panic within the market is something that can be resolved if somebody is there to help you. And that's what I'm here for. So hopefully you guys appreciate that and can appreciate the newsletter. Give it a shot. So SPX just doing more of the same though. You can see it came right back into what? Yeah, support. Stopped there. Didn't go anywhere. Wasn't impressed. Same thing over and over and over again. Forget counting waves. I don't think there's any point in doing it right now. I think it's impossible to do it right now. You just got to follow the TA. If you don't know what you're doing on the technical analysis side, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Shouldn't say a lot of trouble, but you probably get yourself a lot more panicked over things. Here's that big stretch we've had in the S&P, but yet still moving up. And the trend, actually, I got to tell you guys, this trend is still strong. I'm not so sure that we might have not hit some sort of a three-wave up or whatever you want to call it. I don't care. But the point is, I still like the trend here for the time being. I think it's still really strong within the markets. VIX down a little bit today. Gee, go figure. As we've seen, the VIX moves up, the market moves up to nowhere, and then the VIX drops while the market moves up. So we're just seeing the more of the same. This isn't changing. I'm just watching this channel. We want pushes above here. But look at this. Weeks and weeks and weeks on end. We can go all the way back to December, and where have we gone? Nowhere. We're right back where we began. There's just no panic in the markets as of yet. Apple 60 minute, there could be a little panic here from some of the Apple investors. This did not fare well today. Gave you guys some really good opportunities for entries. Hope you guys have been listening. Hope you've been following along because there were great chances for entries today in Apple that would have made you some very easy, very quick cash if you like to play Apple, if you're an options trader, whatever it might be. There were really good opportunities to play Apple today, at least from an intraday standpoint. So the last couple days has not been doing very well. We can look for a recovery, but I'll tell you, that might not come on Monday. Might still see a further push down into some of these lower support levels before some of that bouncing happens. From a daily perspective too, look at the big red candle. Look how pretty, and all the volume that went with it. Right down to where? Yeah, one of my target areas, the 20-day moving average. So stopped right at or around the moving average here. Actually missed it by a whopping 10 cents. So you can see we had a really good target area as well on our trade for today. This is the type of stuff I do with my subscribers too. Give them entries, give them potential targets, give them stops, and hopefully they can catch a little bit of money during the course of the week. Apple Weekly, look at this. I told you I said I didn't want to pass any judgment on these weeklies, and this is precisely why. Looked like we were going to be up and above this blue line yesterday, and today, yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of a difference there. coming into the end of the week. So down 1.7% by the end of it all. What were we down for the day? Like a million? Yeah, 2.16% on Apple for one day. You can see how quickly these weekly candles can change. So sometimes I like to reserve judgment until we get there. FAS just wandered sideways into support. There's really good support here. I got to be honest, coming into the beginning of the week, I still got to be a little bit more bullish on the banks right here. This is a really good consolidation by the bulls, and if this holds, could have another really good entry. Talk more about that over the weekend. FAZ, same type of a thing, consolidation to the downside, which means a low base formation from the daily. I'm still targeting this lower blue area if the banks do decide to have a little bit of a run. This is absolutely one of my target areas, actually my big more major target area for the FAZ. However, every day that goes by, this line gets lower and it's a little bit more, I don't know, seems to be a little bit more out of reach. But I'm telling you, one good day of hard movement by the bulls and the banks, and this thing will drop and we will get close to this blue line at that point. Okay, that'll do it for today's video. For those of you who want to see what I did, I'll do more on this too this weekend, but let me show you what I did last week. These were the trades that I'm taking off of my subscribers list, but that we traded this week. So you can go back to last Monday and see what we traded the week before, and now you'll see what we traded this last week. So if you were part of the newsletter, these were what you could have traded as for individual stocks if you're not really feeling secure about the indices. ABC was one. We took a nice hard break above the $37 area, which was kind of my conservative entry here, and you can see that climb very well. That one played out very well for us. CBI was another one. This was one we got into a little while back, kind of played itself out, but we took it over $35, and now I'm kind of done with this trade. This one will come off the charts for the time being, but this was one that we traded as well. Now I'm not making $1 billion on all of these, but I'm just going to show you what I did. It just is what it is. I'm going to so you can still see a profitable trade here. PNR was another one that we traded. This one had been wandering sideways here for a while, but once we got that break, it was a really good opportunity to get in. We made a few pennies on that one as well over the course of the week. You can see how beautifully it holds these lines. If you guys don't know how to draw these lines or don't get them to do what I get them to do, I'd suggest you think about the mentoring. It'll pay for itself over time. Starbucks was another one we watched and finally got the breakout. Took us a little while. This was one that I've had on for a couple of weeks, but we finally got the break I was looking for today and made a little money on that. So no, we didn't have any $5 runners or anything like that, but we did make money on all of the trades so far this week. There's a couple more I might take off, but overall I had a really good week on the subscribers list from an individual stock standpoint. These all come with entries, potential targets, and stops for those of you that are interested. If this can help you, value added. Newsletter really is a good value. Even if we don't make any money or even play any of these individual stocks, the extra information I give to my subscribers is, of course, in my opinion, well worth the $28. But I think most, if not all of my subscribers would agree. It really is just really good information. I go into a lot more depth about the markets. All right, we will see you again this weekend. On Sunday. I'll have another video out on Sunday. We'll go over a little bit more about these trades as well then and talk to you about what to expect coming into next week, or at least maybe what to look for coming into next week. How about that? See you then. Have a great weekend. Bye.